नाम विश्वनाथ कर्माचार्य हो। कहाँ छ मेरो बुढेपामा मैले कल्ती अब 7-8 वर्षदेखि अलिअलि आयुर्वेदमै अध्ययन गऱ्यो है।
She's the director of the HEALER'S DREAMS. There is an issue with one of the mics, so basically if you guys want to have a question for her, just raise your hand and you can talk loud and we can hear you. But I want to ask you, thank you. Last time you talked was on the podcast, so thank you. Yeah, thank you. So before we get to you, I just want to ask you the first question. There's about 100 people here. How does it feel sitting in the audience, watching your film being played? I'm just curious, like what kind of emotions does it evoke for you when you're watching your film in a cinema like this?
Kind of honored to have my film in this lineup of wonderful films that we watched tonight. And sense of pride, definitely. It's my first time actually seeing it on a big screen, because it played mostly in Nepal and other places, but not in Canada. So this is its premiere in Canada and in Toronto. So yeah, I'm glad I got it done. Dr. Vishwanath passed away in December, and he got to see it at the Nepal International Film Festival last March before he passed away. So I feel like a great sense of accomplishment, that it was made in time for him to see it. It was the last thing he said to me before I left Nepal is if I can send him the film when it's completed. And so I was very, very happy that the Nepal International Film Festival chose it and screened it, and he was invited on stage and asked questions at the end of the film. So yeah.
Does anybody have any questions for Roxana? I'm going to raise your hand. Any questions? Yes, go ahead.
What motivated you to do this particular film and the issue that you covered, the subject matter?
So I have been studying Ayurveda and herbal medicine for about 14 years, and just in parallel to other interests. And I've been a patient of Ayurveda and herbal medicine, and just an opportunity arose once I finished film school in 2019. I was invited to come and film, alongside a course that they were running there on herbal medicine, like basically preparing Ayurvedic medicine. And it was, I had been a student in the past of Ayurveda, and so I just thought that all of my passions were sort of converging into this one project. I was very excited at the idea, and I said, yeah, for sure, I'm coming. And it was actually, this was filmed in March of 2020, and I got stuck in Delhi on my way back to Toronto. But anyways, yeah, so that answers the question.
Yep, go ahead.
I just wanted to know, why did you choose Nepal? Or it was just because that you were invited, or would you choose some other place? Why was it Nepal?
So the person that I had been mentoring with for those past 10 years in Ayurveda and herbal medicine, he made contacts in Kathmandu, Nepal, with various Ayurvedic practitioners there, and so he'd been there in the past and brought students there from all over the world. And so we knew people there. Our project changed once we got there. We were supposed to document another person. There were some cultural differences, and basically we had to change people. But we went there because we knew Ayurvedic practitioners there in this tradition, and we had been studying and been their patient for the past 10 years.
Any other questions?
I was just wondering, how different is the Ayurveda, how do you say it?
Ayurveda
medicine different from like the traditional Chinese medicine? Because it looks very similar.
So it is, yeah. They're actually very similar systems, and they're both, 5,000 years old, 5,000 year old. The difference is probably in the herbs. There are a lot of similarities, but mostly nomenclature, I guess, of various body constitutions, but it is quite similar, actually. Yeah, and the person that I learned from actually incorporates many different systems of herbal medicine from all over the world. So you can draw upon different ones, and then you'll notice similarities. Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, you mentioned you were patient as well.
Yes.
Was it successful?
Yes, that's why I wanted to do the film. I've seen a lot of success in my personal life and also my family and friends and especially more chronic, conditions that have root causes that aren't usually maybe found out by Western medicine. So when basically like all else failed, we turn to, how about let's see what Ayurveda has to offer or Chinese medicine, and then it was a great success. So I really believe in it. So. Yeah. Any kind of question?
Yes, I have a question about the filming crew. How many people were there overall?
They're all right in front of you. It was just me.
No way.
It was a one-person team. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Because one thing is most important thing for us is how can I recognize, because most of the people, if they believe that just with traditional medicine for serious problem as a cancer, something like that, if they believe that, it is very dangerous for them. Because I know one of them, my friend, she has breast cancer, unfortunately. She didn't go to hospital and just believed the traditional and medical. Finally, he got the problem and dead. I wanted to aware that, warn the people, according to many benefit of this, the traditional medical system for ordinary problem and illnesses is good, but we should consider and warn the people about the serious business goes to hospital and be under the medical system. Just I wanted to know that. It's one of that. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's definitely something that I often think about, right? And when I was there in the Ayurvedic clinics, I met many people from, let's say, the Western world that were there that were, they would say, and these are all like, anecdotal and small sample sizes, but people that said basically the Western medicine had given them 3 months to live, and they've been there for 10 years taking Ayurvedic medicine. And so you can hear both sides of this argument and all over the spectrum. So I think it's just up to every person to make their personal decision. Of course, I think there's a risk with every system of medicine, right? Like chemotherapy has its risks as well. But I do believe that what Western medicine has it's important as well. So you kind of pick and choose what works for you. Through my film, I'm not telling anyone to only use Ayurveda. I don't need a disclaimer. I think FDA does that a lot. If you look up, FDA statements on Ayurvedic medicine or alternative medicines. You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yes.
What was the challenges of filming the Healer's Dream, that you faced in Nepal? Did you face any challenges while filming?
Many different types of challenges too, lots of categories of challenges. One of them I think was the language barrier. It was very important, especially as like a Caucasian filmmaker, to be very, very culturally sensitive and represent the cultural heritage correctly. And so, we had translators, and then I just found it really difficult to connect to my subject because I really wanted to just speak to him one-on-one, but it always had to be through a translator. So that was one of the challenges, just not really getting to really know them, just as you would have a conversation one-on-one with someone. And then there were a lot of, technical challenges because they took all my batteries at the airport and finding equipment there and things that I needed. And then also having to change the documentary subject, the person, halfway through the filming and just basically making up a new film,
So, another question.
Yes?
About language, I just wanted to ask you, how does it impact if the language of the movie is different and you just have to show subtitles, right? Because that's how you find them. Does it matter in filmmaking that a lot of people just would opt out of watching something, or it will impact as much as you would want? Is that a determining factor?
You mean the subtitles?
Of the audio being in different language and people understanding it in a different language. Is that a determining factor in selling a movie, or just reaching out to people that this film I have made, but it's in Nepali language?
Right. I haven't had anybody mention that it was a problem. Like various festivals, no one has mentioned that having a film in a foreign language with subtitles was an issue. It's more that I wanted to make sure that the tone of what they were saying came across, right? Because just in writing, so I actually consulted with various people, one of them being one of the representatives of the Nepali Association, non-resident Nepali Association in Canada. He watched it, made sure that the subtitles were correctly representing what the person was saying, taking into consideration things like slang and other types that might not come across in a very literal translation. And so I consulted with various people, and also I've had some subtitle editors that their sole job was to make sure that it reads well, that it's not very, like it's not sort of boring and literal without getting across. And so everybody coming together as a team, post-production was huge for this film. And it was for that reason, yeah. Does that answer your question? Yes. Yes. Okay.
Well, thank you very much for yeah. Comment about any of the other films that we saw that jumped out for them that they enjoyed, or any other comments to make about any of the other films?
Just we should go give your all a special thanks to you because you're nice effort. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I didn't make the films.
Because
any favorite, not to like be subjective, but basically no comments to make about festival? Okay, so everybody's got a ballot. Everybody got a ballot, but if you lost yours, you can just go in the front. If you guys wanted to fill out the ballot, you could fill out your favorite film, best story, best sound of music, etc. There's a theme besides environmental that ties all the films together, and we'll send you the information when you guys fill it out. We'll see you wondering about that. So if you guys really could fill out the ballot, we really appreciate it for works from the filmmakers. And I hope you guys enjoyed the festival. The next one is Thursday, July 25th. It will be Best Female Directors. And then August will be dance films. September will be sci-fi, fantasy, and then October will be horror girl. So enjoy. I hope you guys see you guys again. Thank you. It was so nervous energy for me. I was totally emotional. My son was 1 year old when last time I did a festival. He just graduated from kindergarten today. So it's been a long time. So basically, I really appreciate everybody coming for the first time in a while. We'll be here always. And please fill out your ballots. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, we have a film festival every single day on our WILDsound TV. It's $5 a month. You can watch a film festival every day. Right now we have LGBT Best of Short Films, and then tomorrow it just keeps going and going and going. There's always a new lineup of films. So hope you guys enjoy it, and hope you guys see you guys again in about 4 weeks. Thanks so much.